So my name's Kate Alexander, I'm Head of PE at Farlingo and I run the A-level PE course. At Farlingo we've got two different courses that you can do in the sixth form. One is called a CamTech, a Cambridge Technical, which Mr Steed will give some information about later in this presentation, and the other is A-level PE. Just want to spend a couple of minutes going through the differences between the two courses, because we know that some students really struggle to decide which one they're best suited for. If you would like any other information about the courses, please do email me though, and I can help clarify some things with that. So the CamTech is very much a vocational course. There is a written exam, which Mr Steed will tell you about, but the rest of the course is assessed via coursework, and that includes some practical coaching. Whereas the A-level PE is quite a traditional subject. It's a theoretical course, it's 70% theory. Both of that theoretical content is assessed by 2 exams at the end of year 13. And that theory is worth 70% of their final grade. So it's quite traditional in its setup and its structure. The structure of A-level PE means that the course content is usually taught between 2 or 3 different teachers. We have a scientific component, of which there's a little bit of overlap from GCSE PE. There's some anatomy and physiology, such as how the heart works, how the lungs work, the muscular system, and we go into a little bit more detail than we would at GCSE. We would also introduce something called biomechanics, which is about physics and lever systems and how balls spin in flight and how that affects their trajectory. We look at things such as acceleration, velocity. We look at things that cause streamlining in sport. So the biomechanics option is new for most people, but really interesting. We've also got sports psychology, so we look at things like attitudes towards sport, personality, how groups work well together, and what sort of makes that success from a psychological component. Then we have something called sociocultural studies. Sociocultural studies is looking at the history of sport, how things came about, how they got codified. We look at current issues like drugs in sport, commercialism, the media. So I think, as you can see, it's a really varied course content, from the science through to the history, and all students have an area they prefer, but I think most would say they find the course content really engaging and quite fun to learn. Practical wise, the students will study one practical sport. That's worth 20% of their final grade. They're performing. And then they do an analysis exam, which is worth 10%. Students do need to have a sport that they participate in, because they have to have a competitive log over the 2 years, which shows them participating on a reasonably regular level for a club or a team out of school. We don't offer practical lessons in school, because in any given A-level class we might have one person doing horse riding, one person doing football, one person doing trampolining, one basketball, so we can't cater for that within the lesson context. So that's something students would do out of school. We'd keep some video footage over the 2 years and we'd submit that at the end of the course, and we would help them with that. So if there's any further information you would like, I'm happy to speak to anybody on the phone or via email, and hopefully this short presentation has helped you make a decision between the 2 courses and which one you're best suited for. So I've selected a couple of students to tell you a little bit about the courses from their point of view. Joe studies CamTech and A-level, so he's a good person to give you a little bit of detail from his perspective about how the courses differ. And Sophie is a Year 12 student. She's just started studying her A-level PE, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the course content.
My name is Joe, and I take both CamTech Sport and A-level PE. The key difference between CamTech Sport and A-level is that CamTech focuses more on the coaching side and is predominantly coursework based with a small section of exam, whereas A-level PE is more the anatomy and physiology and also the wider spectrum of sport, and is predominantly exam based with a small section as practical and a small bit on an oral exam.
Yeah, the reason why I took A-level PE is because I genuinely am fascinated by PE and I really enjoyed GCSE PE and wanted to take it through to the future. I always thought PE is going to have something influencing on my future career and my life, so I wanted to take it through, and I just really enjoy GCSE PE in general. At the moment, we're doing anatomy and physiology with Miss Alexander, and that is the best part, learning how our body moves and how the brain influences heart rate and how we can actually do sport in general, because in the future I'm hoping to go and pursue osteopathy, and anatomy and physiology plays a big part in that.
Hi, my name is Mr Steed and I head up the Cambridge Technical in Sport and Physical Activity at Farlingate High School. This is a 2-year course which is the equivalent to an A-level. Students who study this course over A-level PE tend to be students that enjoy the ability to be able to resit exams, instead of that pressure on one final exam at the end of the 2 years. Also, there's a coursework element to this course, so you can resubmit work as the years go along, be given staff feedback on your work and look to improve it as you go. There are 5 units over the 2 years. In the first year you'll study anatomy and physiology. This will be examined with the opportunity to resit in the next summer or at the next Christmas. You also do sports coaching, and that is a really practical part of the course where you'll be teaching and coaching young people in our lower school a sport of your choice. We train you how to be a good coach. We teach you all of the skills that are needed and the methods of practice which are needed, and studying of coaching points to enable you to really develop your skills in that area. This is something that develops confidence in young people who are studying the course and gives you an edge when you're going to universities and into employment, that you've had some real vocational practice working with a range of different people and working on such things as communication skills. When you go into your second year, we look to study sports injuries, we study sports organisation and organising sports events. Sports organisation again is examined, and the other 2 units of sports injuries and organising an event are coursework based. Over the 2 years you will accumulate a final grade: distinction star, distinction, merit or pass. The equivalents for these in terms of UCAS points are: distinction star is an A star, a distinction is an A merit is a C, and a pass is an E. Many students who are looking to gather UCAS points effectively at university have chosen to use this course because they know through retaking, through performing external exams a second time and resitting, or through resubmitting coursework, tactically they can put themselves together a really strong UCAS score by taking this course as an option to A-level PE. Anybody who's thinking about a career in physiotherapy, teaching, health and fitness would really benefit from studying this course. People who work in those sectors have helped put this course together and design this course. So with that in mind, all of the units that we're studying are going to make you more employable or more suitable to studying those courses beyond A-level. If you have any questions or queries that you would like to put to me, please feel free to email me or research Cambridge Technical's Physical Activity Level 3. Thank you.